How can tourism in Malta remain sustainable while also playing a critical role in the country's economy?
Hi, I'm Leonore.
Hi, I'm Daisy. Hi, I'm Lily.
Hi, I'm Sierra.
This
This
is
is
our
our
capstone
capstone
project.
project.
Welcome to Malta, an island off the coast of Italy where ties of history dating back 8,400 years meets new and improved sustainability. For our capstone project in Malta, we will be reflecting and shedding light on new ideas towards our overlying question of how tourism in Malta can remain sustainable while also playing a critical role in the country's economy. With a population of just over 542,000 people, packed into just 316 square kilometers, which translates to about 122 miles, Malta is one of the world's smallest yet most densely populated countries. Yet, despite its size, it welcomes over 2.8 million tourists annually, making tourism a cornerstone of its economy.
The first interview was with a seasoned tour guide who knows the island inside and out.
My name is Sylvia, I'm French, and I am a tour guide in Malta.
She followed her husband to Malta and
I've been living here for 12 years now.
she explained how tourism plays a huge part in Malta and the variety of activities visitors partake in. For example,
Is diving, scuba diving, but they have increased their capacity, hospitality's capacities a lot. People come to enjoy the sea because the sea is warm at any time of the year. So the sea doesn't go below 16 degrees, so you can enjoy it almost all years long. And for history, because you have a very rich heritage left by Neolithic men until now.
when asked if the amount of tourism in Malta is impacting the sustainability of Malta and the cleanliness, she said,
A lot, because Malta is very tiny and is depending of the trade because it's a port in the middle of the Med Sea.
with tourism making up approximately 15% of Malta's GDP, she stated that
Tourism has become, for since 2015, a main pillar of the economy of Malta, and so they are developing a lot, building a lot.
however, that comes with a lot of problems as companies compete to expand and innovate to appeal to tourists.
To accompany this expansion is struggling, and so they are always trying to catch up in order to have the infrastructure for sewage, for bringing water, for building sand to build, because for the construction work you need sand. It's very difficult to find sand now. So all of this is impacting, in fact, our day-to-day life. As you can see, where you live in Spinola, you have construction sites everywhere. It's very noisy, dusty. So yes, it is impacting in terms of sustainability the island.
Another problem the island has faced is the criticism towards the expansion of tourism.
Because in fact, the island was crumbling. So of course, you have some people who are criticizing this very sudden and fast expansion. But it's also great for the country because it provides works to people. Now you have due to this development, you have a lot of immigration. So this is necessary.
Finally, when asked how to be a sustainable tourist, Sylvia emphasized the importance of using reusable water bottles.
Any tourist should bring his bottle of water to avoid plastic and bottle of plastic throw out all over the island. So each tourist should have that and bring that with him.
Our next interview was with our scuba diving master, Julio. Julio has been a dive master since 2021 and has completed around 1,000 dives just in Malta. He's well over experienced and agreed to share with us what makes Malta such a good place for scuba diving and how tourists can have fun in Malta while also staying sustainable.
Why do you think Malta is such a popular destination for scuba divers?
Why? Because we have a very interest history background from the war, and mostly of our customers come here because of the background of the history, of the landscape, of the marine life here in the Mediterranean. It's very stunning, and also visibility also is very good. So we have good conditions all year around. Just when it's winter, it's very cold. That's
What are the biggest environmental threats to Malta's marine life?
That's a really interesting question. I would say sometimes we have this kind of tourism comes to Malta without knowing it's a diving destination as well. So the risk are 50-50 sometimes because this kind of niche of people comes to Malta without knowing and they just go through the places where we go for a diving. The boat, let's say it's a small contamination about talking about petrol, about gas of the boats and everything. And think so that's the main thing, like when people are not aware where they're going for holidays, let's say. I say they create a huge disturbed environment because of the noise. And mostly of the weekends they go out in the boats and yeah, sometimes that can be stressful for the animals underwater to just go away and find a really quiet place around it.
What practices do experienced divers use to teach new divers how to swim responsibly?
We always encourage our students, our customers, if we find something doesn't belongs to the sea, bring it with us, but if belongs to the sea should be in the sea, because we do not do this alteration of the environment where we're going to dive. We always gave to our customers the great experience ever, showing them how to behave underwater just to be safe. Safety is important. Show the animals, show the history about the shipwrecks, because mostly of the divers can't hear because of the underwater shipwrecks experience. And also we have beginners, they come here to do the open water course. So the impact here in Malta, it's very, very big for beginners till tech divers. So it's a good destination so far.
What has Malta done to better balance tourism with protecting marine life?
So far there is a rangers, they take care and we are doing a really good job. Last month we have like a meeting with these people. They come to us and they share all the information, also do some capacitations just to be aware how to behave and how to teach our students also. And it's been going every year, every year these two girls, it's like a group of girls, they work with the marine conservation where we work today. It's a marine park conservation. One of the reasons the boats are not allowed because of the noise, of the contamination, of the rubbish. So they keep that environment very safe for divers and very healthy for animals.
Are there any government policies or local initiatives that have made a positive impact?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, mostly it's more independence, let's say, because this ranger community I talked to you before, they go to every dive center to share about how we are going to become one and take care our sea, because our jobs, our career like a divers depends of the sea. So the government also improve to these people, but I do not have the deeply information to share about that question.
Our final interview was with one of the main scuba instructors at DiveWise.
I apologize for the boomer angle. My name is Jackson Dando. I'm 32 years old.
He is a master scuba diver and has been diving for over 20 years. He has spent almost a year in Malta and has completed over 300 dives. Over the course of his interview, he explained why Malta is a popular dive site.
Especially for European divers, it offers very good visibility, and there are incredible shipwrecks here. So anyone who has a history or an interest in World War II history and that sort of thing is quite drawn to Malta.
Though Jackson has not been in Malta for very long, he explained how Malta has its own lanes for divers and is investing in the infrastructure to become a more dive-focused tourist destination.
Dive tourism really has increased the thoroughfare to some places. So obviously there's a financial gain to those places, but then there's also the burden of over tourism and that sort of thing. So those do tend to go hand in hand.
Malta is known as a diving destination due to clean waters. However, there are dangers threatening marine life, including
Pollution is one of them, so plastic pollution, and then just overfishing. That's the Mediterranean in general. There's a lot less fish than there should be because the fish stocks have collapsed in a lot of places. And then invasive species, so invasive seagrass species and recently lionfish have been caught in Malta, which could potentially be quite devastating for its ecosystems.
having a large amount of tourism in Malta can
Goes both ways. Obviously, over tourism is always has negative connotations. Too many divers in an untrained context or anything, too much boat traffic, pollutants from the vessels, bad diving habits, so like kicking up the bottom, that sort of thing can always damage a site. However, a lot of centers do their own cleanups and stuff, as you guys have done with us. So tourism can give back as well if it is managed sustainably.
One way to limit the negative impacts of tourism, specifically diving, is to
What should tourists know before diving to help protect the reefs and marine life? So again, I keep harping on about the same things, but good diving habits. So don't collect anything. I mean, it's a bit of a cringy old saying from diving back in the day, but take only memories, leave only bubbles, that sort of thing. We don't want to damage anything. We don't want to leave anything behind. Leave it looking better than we found it. So if you find any trash that you can safely remove, absolutely grab a bottle, grab a piece of plastic, that sort of thing. Basically train in such a manner, or try to find a place that encourages safe diving and that sort of thing, and is taking the environment into account whilst diving.
Another way to be sustainable is for the government of Malta to get more involved in tourist and diving policies. The government could
Incentivize centers that do cleanups, so they could potentially fund them or give them some sort of rebate or something along those lines. I think an incentive-based system would work the best to motivate centers that maybe aren't that altruistically interested to, maybe even if it's for their own gain, still do the right thing. It all adds up at the end of the day.
Though there are many ways the Maltese government could invest in sustainable tourism, they have made significant progress by creating over 13 marine protected areas. These areas contribute to the preservation and reconstruction of Malta's marine ecosystems, allowing tourists to have better diving experience overall. In sum, to remain sustainable, divers should try and
You leave a place either better or at the very least in the same condition as you found it.
In conclusion, we have learned a lot on our trip to Malta. Although Malta is clearly making efforts to be sustainable, throughout our multiple tours and dives, we have noticed a few things that could help. The number of trash cans we have found are limited. Whenever I needed to throw something away, it is a little bit of a search to find where to put it, and sometimes I need to walk down the street. Also, there are 0 water fountains anywhere. This makes it so that if I'm thirsty, I'm required to buy a plastic water bottle. Even if I bring a reusable water bottle, there is nowhere to refill it. If there were more water fountains, I think the amount of plastic water bottles would decrease.
To conclude, in order for Malta to continue relying on tourism, it should continue what it is doing: the MPAs, sustainable diving practices, organized cleanups, but should also incorporate more techniques, such as accessible water fountains and more trash cans, to limit the amount of negative effects tourism can have on the country and to see a brighter future.